They said timing was everything, but in Rick Dangerous, all it took was one wrong step, and you were toast. This wasn't just about reflexes. It was about outsmarting a cruel little machine that wanted you dead every 6 seconds. Originally launched in 1989 for the Amiga, Atari ST, Commodore 64, and various PCs of the day, Rick Dangerous brought the spirit of pulp adventure crashing into the brutal reality of pixel-perfect platforming. If you've ever envisioned Indiana Jones stumbling into a sadistic platformer designed by Wile E. Coyote, you're in the right ballpark. The game was developed by Core Design years before Tomb Raider would make them a household name. Most of the team behind Rick Dangerous was very small, with contributors like Simon Phipps and Terry Lloyd defining everything from character animation to level architecture. The hardware limitations of home computers didn't make their job any easier, but what they built was impressive. A compact, deadly labyrinth of spike pits, collapsing ceilings, tribal darts, and fire trap nonsense, all ready to trigger, completely without warning, at your next step. What set Rick Dangerous apart was its commitment to pure memorization-based challenge. The game starts with a crash landing in the Amazon jungle. From there, our fedora-wearing hero faces 4 increasingly ridiculous scenarios: ancient temples, Egyptian tombs, Nazi bunkers, and futuristic missile bases. It plays like a greatest hits compilation of pulpy stereotypes and leans into it with delight. But the real star here was never Rick. It was the cruelty of level design and the way you were forced to study, trial and error, and eventually master each segment of the game if you had any hope of surviving beyond the first few screens. The gameplay revolves around timing, traps, and traps disguised as safe areas. Rick is equipped with a measly pistol and a handful of sticks of dynamite, but neither are the most useful tools in his kit. That would be your ability to learn from death. Lots and lots of death. This game isn't trial and error. It's error, 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 and then, maybe, progress. It bordered on parody. Some levels took cues from slapstick cartoons, where you duck only to dodge a swinging boulder, only to immediately stand back up into a falling spiked ceiling. Rick moves with stiff precision. Jumping follows a particular arc that never changes, so it's on the player to time with absolute discipline. The game demands memorization of every pressure plate, enemy spawn, collapsing floorboard, and timed trap. Combined with one-hit deaths and unlimited continues, you grow not just mastery, but muscle memory. Certain sections come to feel like dance routines. Step left, pause, duck, fire, jump, crouch, wait, run. Done wrong, it's chaos. Done right, it's ballet. Rick Dangerous stood out for how it merged platforming with reaction-based puzzling. It wasn't just jump here, it was jump here, but have learned from the 50 times you died here before. There's humor baked in, not through dialogue, but through sheer absurdity. A wrong move and the screen erupts in cartoonish violence. Play too cautiously, and even your torches will turn against you. The game mocks you with its difficulty. It knows you'll fall for the same trick twice, and it volunteers a new one every step forward. Despite this, or maybe because of it, Rick Dangerous caught fire in kids' bedrooms across Europe. It became a schoolyard legend. People shared maps, trap tips, cheat codes. In some ways, it was speedrunning before that meant anything. Just the desperate attempt to shave seconds off your suffering each time you tried again. Rick was ported to several platforms, including the ZX Spectrum and Amstrad CPC, and somehow maintained its complex trap layouts despite wildly different hardware strengths. The opening screen, with Rick struck frozen in wide-eyed panic, became a calling card for gamers who knew what was coming. And the soundtrack, especially that bouncy title tune, is still instantly recognizable to retro fans today. A sequel, Rick Dangerous 2, arrived soon after. It kept the same trap-heavy philosophy, but swapped out the pulp serials for 1950s sci-fi flair: aliens, ray guns, ice caverns. It polished some of the first game's rough edges, added more weapons, and diversified the environments, but the cruelty remained delightfully intact. Sadly, plans for a third Rick Dangerous game never got past drawing boards. The influence of Rick Dangerous can still be felt today. It's obvious in the punishing platform layouts and death as progression philosophy of later indie staples. Games that torture you for laughs owe a nod to Rick. And so do big-budget titles that crafted exploration around surprise hazards and trial-by-failure level design. Core Design's later creation, Tomb Raider, in many ways took Rick's sense of booby-trapped puzzle environments and projected them into 3 dimensions, albeit with a more forgiving toolkit. So why does Rick Dangerous still matter today? Because few games commit so fully to their concept. Modern games often hold your hand. Rick? It slaps that hand away, drops you into a pit, shoots you in the back, flattens you with a boulder, and expects you to learn something from all that. And somehow, it's never mean-spirited. It's mischievous. There's a difference. Those who grew to love it didn't do so in spite of the difficulty. They did so because mastering it made you feel like a champion of absurdity. All told, Rick Dangerous is a hilarious, brutal, unforgettable throwback to an era when platformers weren't afraid to ruin your weekend, and you came back anyway for more. If you've ever wondered what it feels like to be the punchline of a pixelated joke that just keeps killing you, Rick Dangerous is your ride. And if that sounds like the kind of challenge you're up for, then welcome aboard. For more journeys into the strange and wonderful past of video gaming, subscribe to Retro Gaming History and get ready for the next level of nostalgia.